Okay, we are live. Hi. I think I'm going to start today by writing a quick article because I have something on my mind to write about. And I figured to do it on stream. And then I have a meeting in an hour and a half. So I think I can probably write article in that time and maybe get started on a little bit of drone stuff. After my meeting, I'll be working on drone stuff for most of the rest of the day. Hey, Linky, welcome. Release all of these, I guess, did I? Oh yeah, I guess I didn't really release this. It's okay. And this ended up just being the tweet. Yeah, that's fine. Let's do new article. Welcome. Just like quick freeform article. Can we get Yaxine to stream dev? You can try to. He's definitely working on some stuff. He sent me some cool things. I don't know what he's talking about. Yeah, I have no idea. I'm like a little bit scattered with stuff I do. He's like very, very scattered with the type of stuff he does, you know? Check my message in to, in new to Popperlib thread. Yes. First step. Yeah, so like the NAN issue, it's numerical instability most of the time. It's not like, oh, it can't work with sparse rewards or something like that. I don't think it should be. The thing that's difficult is the fact that like it's pretty hard to express these ops on a Turing machine. That's it. I'm curious, why did you decide to do a PhD? If I'd gotten a full-time offer, I would have stayed. Like, you, it was pretty dang hard to even, like, even being a publishing researcher as an undergrad, the positions were almost exclusively for PhDs. I mean, and not only that, right? Like, I was pretty stubborn about what I wanted to work on as well. Like, I didn't kind of just want to work on anything. I was pretty, like, I had my mindset pretty hard on neural MMO and multi-agent and all this stuff. It would have probably, it would have had to have been like a lab that wanted to bet on an undergrad to work on like this crazy ambitious project that really could probably only have been done in academia. And I guess the proof of that, right, is I worked on neural MMO and I didn't expect to do it for my entire PhD because I expected, one of the big labs to circle back and eventually do it way bigger and way better, and they just never did. So I was really the only one pushing. Like, despite StarCraft and Dota and all these things, none of the labs did like a compelling 1,000 agent learning problem or like, economies in trade and stuff or any of the things that we did with Neural MMO. This is underrated to be able to write quality stuff. Write it in one go. It depends on how I'm feeling, man. I don't consider this super high quality. It's just my thoughts. Curious about your thoughts on scaling up nets. So Dota works with one layer, Kevin. The one layer LSTM, you scale with. And we do actually see this. We see this on some of our problems, but it's a factor of problem complexity. The simple problems don't benefit from more than 128 width. Something like Neural MMO, so far we've gotten it up to 512. Doesn't really get all that much more from 1024. Dota's massively, massively complicated. It's up to 4096. I think that people have this bias in their head that because LLMs are big, then everything needs to be big, but it's just not true. RL's just a data sponge. You don't need that big of networks to solve things. Now, I will say, if you have a supervised objective in your RL, then that can scale, which is the thing I wanted to look at with you, right? So I don't think that you necessarily need to scale the policy massively, but if you have some supervised objective, like a world model or a contrastive objective or whatever, that it seems can scale, and there's good evidence. Dropping by to say you're the GOAT. Works incredibly inspiring. Keep on keeping on. Thank you very much. If you want to get involved with this stuff, I mean, we literally have brand new programmers who have spun up and are now actively contributing to our research. It's all public in the Discord. You read Simba? And bro, I heard of Simba, not bro. I'm not going to take too much of this publicity bias. I'll have to look at this. You know the other thing that's just really screwy, Kevin? I can look at this. Here's the thing that just sucks, okay? I treat publications as false by default now in RL. You know? Like when I read a new publication, I assume it's wrong by default. Because that's literally been a better prior than anything else. You've replicated it? Does it work more broadly? Because there's a difference between replicating the exact thing and it actually being general, right? Write it in my own M's? Okay. See, that is useful information. I don't want to get too super sidetracked by this now because I'll get out of like writing flow. But I will take a look at this. If you're around later today as well, we can take a look at this together. I will be more than happy to do that. If you try it on Puffer M's, that's like 25 data points. And if it works on Neural MMO 3, or even if it works on mazes, mazes is like a fast training environment that replicates, like that transfers really well, then that will be much stronger evidence. Good to know I'm working on applied BS. And I don't know what applied BS is. In the Discord when I gain a little more experience. Yeah, there are literally we have undergrads who are doing some of the best work right now in Pufferlib. There's no bias on experience level. Like the best time to just like start doing stuff and learning things is now. You're gonna learn stuff way faster in here as well. We've had dozens of people spin up in this, and there's really no better way to learn. Like if you have any sort of programming background, right? I can guarantee you're gonna be able to make one of these environments and like get RL working on it quite quickly and learn a lot in the process. Even like a simple arcade environment, something like a Breakout or a Pong or like 2048, right? All of these are like projects that are a few hundred lines of code you can kind of just knock out very quickly. Uh, Chances are it's going to be a very unfamiliar style, but like you will learn a lot very, very quickly. And frankly, when I was an undergrad, I wish somebody had just showed me this type of stuff because it would have saved me a lot of time. So a lot of the stuff that I've set up around Puffer is like specifically designed to get new people into this stuff ASAP. Because like it's not that complicated. There's not like a huge amount of material that you need to know to do this stuff well. You kind of just have to be open to thinking about problems differently from what you're used to. based in pure C. The environments are in pure C. Only the environments. All the training code is going to be like familiar or PyTorch and stuff. And believe me, you're going to prefer the C. Because there are just way fewer things that you have to deal with at all. It's really basic C. It's like the stuff that you saw in literally your first systems course ever. If you're an undergrad. Like your literal first systems. Like here. Just take a quick look at it. Like, if you just go to our code, read like Snake or something. Alright? DFAN, it's all good? Okay, solid. Usually that's the hard sell for AI people. Because, like, this is Snake. This is, like, this really cool multi-agent Snake env. Like, 300 lines. And it's really, really simple code. Like, this is not anything that looks scary, right? And this actually scales. Like, it doesn't really get much harder than this as you build fancier environments. Random side note: your old write-up about Arch Linux convinced me to set up my laptop with Arch i3. Oh, geez. You got the blunder years stuff from... That was... I wrote that in high school, man. Oh, geez. It's not bad, okay? It's good for learning. I will say it's really good for learning. I used Arch for, like, most of undergrad, and it's really good for learning. Um, I think, like, honestly, yeah, you know what? Keep doing that. It's... When you're new to all this stuff, it will help you learn just a lot of basic technical things. Eventually, you get to the point where it's like, look, I don't want to fight with my audio drivers for 3 hours and like be on the Arch Wiki to just make my audio drivers work. And I don't want rolling updates to just randomly brick my machine. Um, but it's good for learning. What I use now is a yeah, and it's a pain because you have to set up 3 computers like that, right? So unless you really have good scripts for everything, but even then, like, they're gonna be hardware differences. I typically just run like vanilla Ubuntu now. This machine's on Windows because it's old, but like I run vanilla Ubuntu, and then I have like a really minimal NeoVim config. I actually, you know what? I tried to set up i3 on my laptop, my new laptop, and I don't even think it was i3 specifically, but like there were just so many jank Linux things with the hardware that it just totally wasn't worth trying to customize crap, because like you don't know if you broke stuff with your customizations or it's just Linux being jank on laptops. The total pain. Honestly, best setup that I have these days is just get a nice desktop. Get a nice desktop, stick like a vanilla Ubuntu on it, and then whatever editor of choice. I got NeoVim for my stuff now. It's got a total of 2 plugins. You don't need to go crazy ricing everything. Mostly a waste of time. But I do actually, at least for me, I like the like the minimalistic setup over the really heavy tools. I still end up fighting stuff every so often, but it's a lot easier for me to fix my problems like this. I actually, some of that content is kind of, it's not good for learning, but it's kind of informative. Literally, like, I mean, this is literally me from high school, right? Um, you can kind of see the level of stuff where, like, what even is this, right? Like, this is not. Are we back? Hello? Are we good? I think the internet just blipped. We should be okay. Yeah, okay. It's just the internet blipping. I have a really scuffed setup here. I'm in California on this super old desktop. I haven't, like, figured out with the internet. It does just blip every so often. The main facility, I'm going to end up having it with with an extra backup line, switch over, but I haven't done that here. Where's the epic weight room? In Maryland. I have I have setups everywhere, like basic setups. The only really nice ones in Maryland. Here in California, I've got a rack and a platform, and that's about it. It sucks though. I've got a shoulder injury and a knee injury. Knee injury is getting better, so I've been able to run a little bit, but I'm not gonna even try to squat yet. I can deadlift. I just started benching a little bit again a few days ago, but I have to be super careful with it. So I'm just benching like nothing, like a plate for 20 reps or whatever, instead of 210 for 10, which is what I was doing before. Down literally 100 pounds. It'll come back quick. I'm just being careful because I really don't want to re-injure it. In Discord, thanks for helping. Yeah, thank you. Focus on control hurts my ego. Yeah. Alright, let me take a quick read through this to make sure it's not that crazy rambly. As I'm new here, can you give me a little context on what you're doing here? Well, at the moment, I'm just writing a quick article on some thoughts on some reinforcement learning stuff that I'm doing. In a few minutes, as soon as I read through this and post this, I'm gonna start working on the drone swarming and drone racing simulations that I've been developing, and we're gonna see if we can get capable swarming and racing policies running like a few minutes with very streamlined code. The context for the stream in general is I do reinforcement learning research full time. Sometimes I write about it. I release all this stuff open source, and I stream my whole process. We've also got a whole community around this stuff It's also helping working on the reinforcement learning. Um, Heck, most of the code at this point is from contributors. Live stream around the project. Yeah, this is fine. This is just like a quick sort of stream of conscious article. Let me go generate some thumbnail for it real quick. Where to go? I need rock go. Right, concept art. Well, that's freaking horrifying. Look at this. One hand, two hands. Okay. Yeah, let's not do that. Is there anything else I could use for this? Oh yeah, I'm gonna literally, this will be funny. Here, I'm gonna go grab one of my training graphs where the thing just crashes. I know I have one in here, right? Yeah, there you go. Just yes. Just make this. Automatically save to the screenshots folder. The heck? That's annoying. Where the heck is that? Those. This is why I install this machine. Linux on this. Oh, it's a new folder that it just made for no reason. Cool. Aspect ratio fixed. This may be. hang on. See what the heck that is. Okay. Alright. I've got a little bit of time. Let's start on the drone stuff. And I'll continue on the drone stuff after. I got one meeting in like half an hour. And afterwards we'll do drone stuff the whole rest of the day, I believe. Maybe some other things. It depends how quickly we solve our problems there. Is there anything I missed on here? That's not gonna, yeah, a lot of stuff, bet. I'll have to look at it. Alright, well, it looks like we got lots of questions, but our other contributors are handling them, so. Good. More time for drones. So let me see if I can remember. If I can remember what the heck. Right, so I was trying to get, I was trying to get this thing to work with the new physics, I believe. And I could get it to work with swarming, but not racing, if I recall. And it looked, yes, so it looked like it was some weird reward bug, and then I randomly had to leave for, an impromptu meeting. That's what happened. Watching from India, welcome. Okay, so let's see what the current task setup looks like. Okay, so we were trying to get it to train on racing, and yeah, I remember. So this perf and score this is good according to the reward model, but it's not actually going through any of the rings. Uh, there was a bit of trouble where it was kind of a pain to get this stuff to render. I said I was gonna do, but I didn't because I had more meetings. Um, but at least we do know based on this, we do know that the score is good. So there's a mismatch between what the agent thinks that it's training on, or the agent says that it's there's a mismatch between what we think we're telling the agent to do and what the agent is actually being told to do. That's the way to interpret that. Because the metric that it's optimizing is doing well, but the metrics we care about is not doing well. So there's a gap between what we're optimizing and what we care about. I think that's the correct interpretation of this. Now, it does occur to me as well that the score function just is not going to be able to even be very good, is it? How can I get into RL? Physically, I have skills in 3D animation, Python and AI, generated with a bachelor's in physics. Well, physics is definitely useful. Because there are all sorts of areas where we're trying to figure out how to like build out applications of this stuff that require domain expertise in other areas. For instance, to give you an idea, the original math for the drone simulator I'm working on now, right, the original sim as well, was done by Finn and Sam, who are in the Discord, and who are now working with us to get this onto a real drone, right? Because they were able to come up with a nice clean formulation of the simple physics, and they were able to get it into a sim. I helped them quite a bit on the RL side, right? But like just having the experience in another area often means that you can come up with good applications and see areas where, oh yeah, I could build a sim for that. Yeah, I guess technically, let me see what happens if we do this. So I'm just gonna swap it to like the sparse reward, which is did you pass a ring or not? This should be quite hard to learn. And if this works, then we'll basically know that it's a reward formulation problem. What did I mess up? Something. Hang on. Sometimes when you edit stuff over SSH, messes with the top of the file for some dumb reason. Adds a dumb character. And I owe Spencer some work as well. I forgot I owed Spencer racing work today. So that's the other thing we gotta do is the GPU drive sim. Don't have any messages yet though. I will message him after the meeting. Well, it's passing. It's better, but I think it's not passing. Yeah, multiple rings yet, right? Yeah, no, I remember this. This was it, like, getting stuck only being able to do one ring, which is still better than what it was doing before, so that's interesting, right? I did make the rings farther apart, so if it doesn't have the sparse reward, that could screw it up, right? Go double check real quick. Want to make sure that the reward's what I think it is. Check ring. Yeah, so it is getting the check ring reward, which is sparse. I'm pretty sure I tried the sparse reward small map thing though, and I think it didn't work. We'll try it again just to make sure I'm not misremembering, right? Yeah, okay, so this is still broken. It's interesting to me that we have a reward that in my mind doesn't make a ton of sense. But we know it worked on the other version. One one last thing. The one other thing I modified, right? Like this max rings 10. Let's actually do one. We should actually be able to confirm just based on that. Now we're as close as possible to the original setting, so something's totally broken if it doesn't work on this. Because you never know, right? I don't think I'm doing collision checks between the drones for the racing task, but I could accidentally be doing collision checks, and then the rings are just, like, too small, right? There are, like, lots of things I could be messing up, technically. Okay. Well, there you go. A little better. Let's see if it keeps training. That's definitely a massive difference. Whether this is the result that we want or not, And unstable. Um, Original learning rate. This is fine. If it was the targets or if it was the number of drones. File contains no section head. The heck? Oh, I know what happened. Corruption. So if this doesn't train, then it means that there've got to be like collision checks enabled that I'm not aware of. Okay, so it's the rings somehow. How does that make sense? It's the number of rings. Doesn't make any sense to me. This still seems better than before. Maybe not. Maybe this is the same as before. The other one is. The out of bounds rate is suspicious. It is improving. I grab torch, right? If we just get it working local. I can't debug this blind. It's like too fiddly. Usually I can. It's never optimal. Yeah, this is setup tools annoying quirk. Right? Oh yeah. Okay, hopefully we can actually get the thing to run. All these packaging problems, yeah, see all these packaging problems, all these just go away if you run stuff on Linux and use our container. So like, this is not even a pufferlib problem. This is just a Python is stupid and dumb problem. And like, it's really annoying to do. Uh, you basically just need a Docker for any non-trivial package because of what a mess the Python build system is. And heck, literally setup tools just has breaking changes constantly. Look at the number of versions they ship, and many of them have breaking changes, right? They shipped like this many major versions. Dev containers okay, yeah. I use dev containers for a bit as well. Um, native Linux is just better. I just haven't had time to set it up on this machine. Okay, cool. So here are drones. Now we will actually be able to eval and tell what the heck is going on. Train this. I got a meeting in a few, but I'm going to at least get one policy that we can try. What's happening, people? Working on drone sim training. So basically, we have independent implementations in which we can get all of these drones to race through the rings. We can get them to form swarms and formations and stuff. And I want to get the same neural net to be able to do everything. So like one sim, the drones can do everything. And that's what we have to do now. These are just random right here. I'm training this neural net over here, training this policy. It's buggy. This is not a good score, but this is at least going to give us a starter point to try to figure out what's going on. Still fun to look at. We should definitely get like a better drone model as well. Technically, I could load the puffer fish in, fly the puffer around. How's the quick article doing from this morning? Oh, reasonably well. Huh. Not bad at all so far for like just a super quick article. Okay, so finally have our eval loop back. Okay, so for some reason, right, this is what these guys do. Oh, that doesn't even look bad. What? Wait, this doesn't look bad at all. So have I just been being stupid this whole time? Like are my metrics just wrong? Like these don't look that bad. Okay, well that's actually encouraging. It's not just super cursed. Cool. Well, we will continue this later today. The things planned for later are the drone environment, and also I've got this driving simulator to debug with Spencer to take a look at the policies there. I may do that on stream for fun. We will see. For the folks watching, thanks for tuning in for the morning session. If you are new around here, it's all free open source work. Check it out on puffer.ai. If you want to help me out for free, start the GitHub. If you want to get involved with dev, Discord, and if you want more RL content, including a bunch of articles for beginners and how to learn and get into the space, follow me on X. Thank you, and back soon.